So, in the words of Elle Woods, we did it! And I am so excited that this year is almost over. I have some bittersweet moments because I know and I recognize that at the end of the year, parents are looking at their seniors and they're about to watch them graduate. For me, I am graduating a daughter from middle school and she's entering into high school, and I know that there are parents who are graduating their fifth graders, going into the awkward years of middle school, and then you've got those preschoolers who are going into kindergarten. And so I know that this can be very, very bittersweet, and I just want to congratulate everybody for making it through and persevering and just having that grit to get through something that was very, very challenging. The beginning of the year, I did some vlogs about how a remote teacher is functioning and what the remote classroom looks like. And now that I'm on the other end of it, I wanted to share some things that I have learned. I think if you follow me either on Best Teaching Adventures or on Twitter, or if you see posts of me posting things on Facebook, you know that this year has been very challenging, and for me, I have felt very isolated, and it's just been one of those years. But I always try to look at hard experiences and try to find the positive of them, and try to find what I can learn so that I can become a better person, a better educator, better wife, better mom. I'm always looking at hard situations and seeing what good I can get out of those situations. Well, remote teaching was one of those times, and there are 3 nuggets that I am walking away from this experience with. The first thing is I have been reminded that education truly is a merge between school and home. I have communicated with my parents more than I ever have in the past. And I always found myself as an educator, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one, that phone call that you are making to parents is because somebody's not getting their schoolwork in on time, or you've just got a lot of missing assignments from this student, or you are, there was a behavior issue that you're calling the parent about. And I think that it is really, really important that we not only make those phone calls, but we also make the phone calls to the students who are doing really, really well. And in remote teaching, it really did provide me an opportunity to reach out to all parents of all students. And I could not have done this year without my parents. There is just absolutely no way, and it is a valuable relationship. It also doesn't just need to depend on the teacher. As a parent, you need to reach out to your teacher and you need to talk to them and tell them maybe what happened that morning, or why your child might be acting up. We've got to keep those lines of communication open between school and home. The second thing that I am walking away with is that I really, really, really enjoyed merging my background in journalism with my current occupation, being a teacher. I had shelved that part of creativity aside when I entered into the classroom, and remote learning really did allow me to dust that off and be able to provide teaching videos. And I had some fun too, some fun videos that were kind of maybe a little pointless, I don't know, but I had fun creating those videos and editing those videos and then presenting them to my students. I tell people all the time, I knew who my competition was, and my competition was the video games that my students wanted to play. Girls and boys, they all wanted to just play video games, and I knew that that was my competition. So I knew that I needed to present my students with something that was engaging, high energy. I could look silly, and give that to my students so that they would want to come, that they would want to engage in the remote classroom. I went back and I studied Sesame Street. I went back and I studied Mr. Rogers, and I was looking at all of these things that engage students, and how can I adapt that into the classroom for fourth graders, which is where I started, and then into the second grade classroom. So that is something that I definitely want to continue to incorporate into the classroom. And then my third nugget that I am walking away with is the value of a positive and supportive community. Whole brain teaching has been that for me for over 260 plus days that I have been remote teaching. Every post is our teachers that are genuinely asking, how can I do better in this area? And the responses are so encouraging and so uplifting, and every teacher gives valuable feedback on how the person that is asking the question, how they can become better. And I have just loved the whole brain teaching community, and I could not have done this year without the mentorship of Miss Nancy and my team Rocket and Coach B and the Zooms and just everything that whole brain teaching provided. I could not have done this year without it. So if you're an educator, you definitely need to look up whole brain teaching and get involved, because it will change how you either do remote teaching, but it will really change how you approach the classroom. So those are 3 nuggets that I am walking away with, and that I will definitely put back into the face-to-face classroom. And so I am so excited that this year is over. I am really going to miss my students though, and that's something that happens at the end of every year. I think that last year and this year though, there's just something that's just a little bit more special for me, just because we went through this crazy journey of just a different way and a different style of learning, and we did that together. And so that is something that I will always hold dear. I will always remember the 2019-2020 school year and the 2020-2021 school year forever and ever, as I know that whether you are face-to-face or remote, we will all remember this year. Overall, it's been a crazy year, but it's been a pretty good one. So, anyway, bye.